Question number 1. What fraction is shown by the shaded portion of the figure below? So whenever we're doing fractions, we always want to do ask over total. Okay, ask over total. And the total amount of pieces, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So that means our denominator is going to be a 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are shaded. So that would be 4/5. Second part of the question says, multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3 to create an equivalent fraction. So our fraction was 4/5. And if we multiply the numerator by 3, that's 12. And if we multiply the denominator by 3, that'd be 15. So an equivalent, 4/5 is equivalent to 12/15. Question number 2. Jennifer told her brother that she ran 3/5 miles after school. Ryan said, I ran 5/8 miles, so we ran exactly the same distance. Is Ryan correct? Use the number line to justify your answer. So let's go ahead and box in and see, is Ryan correct? That's what we need to answer. And it tells us to use the number line below. And if I'm looking at the number line, we have 3/5 right here, and we have 5/8 right here. They look pretty close, but to me it looks like 5/8 is just a little bit further than 3/5 to me. So we're going to preliminarily just say no for right now, but just to double check, we'll go ahead. I always like to cross multiply whenever I'm comparing fractions, especially if they're close. If they're close in nature, like these two fractions are relatively close to each other. So we go 3/5, and we're going to compare it to 5/8. Okay, if I'm cross multiplying, I'm going to cross multiply like this. That's 5 times 5 is 25. And then 8 times 3 is 24. So it looks like 5/8 is actually larger than 3/5. So no, it isn't, because 5/8 is a larger fraction. So that actually means that Ryan ran a little bit further than what his sister Jennifer did. Question number 3. Write 2 equivalent fractions that name the shaded part of the octagon. So, first off, we'll go and figure out what is the shaded part of the octagon. So we'll go and figure out the denominator first. So we'll count up how many pieces there are altogether. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So our denominator would be 8 for the part that's shown right there. And out of the 8, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are shaded. So we have 6/8. So one way to come up with the equivalent fraction is we can multiply the denominator and the numerator by 2. Basically, if I split each one of these in half right here, I basically multiplied it by 2. So now there should be 16 sections altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 sections, which is the same thing as times 2. And there will be 12 of them that are shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 that are shaded, which is 6 times 2. Okay, but there's another way to solve this also. Since my numerator and my denominator are both even numbers, that means I can divide them each by 2. So if I divide the numerator and the denominator by 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 3/4 and 6/8 are also equivalent fractions. So that's 2 different ways of coming up with 2 equivalent fractions on this problem. Okay, question number 4. Which two figures show equivalent fractions? And if I'm looking at the figures right there, I'm going to look at the part that looks like they have the same amount shaded. And this one has a half shaded, so I don't think that one is. This one is more than a half. These right here look like they're about the same right there. So I'm going to say figures P and figures R are equivalent fractions. Okay, what two equivalent fractions are shown? Box that question in. Should have boxed the first one in, but okay. So the two equivalent fractions are shown. So fraction P, the total amount, there's three pieces right there. So the denominator would be 3, and the numerator, there's one part that's shaded right there. So that's 1/3, and the other fraction right here, R, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is my denominator, and two of them are shaded, so 2, 6. So 3, 1/3, and 2, 6 are equivalent fractions. The circle below has been divided into ninths. Shade another fraction that is equivalent to the fraction you named above. What fraction did you shade? So I'm going to go ahead and look at, we'll take a look at this one right here, circle R, and we'll try shade in the same amount as shaded in circle R right there. So it looks like it's going to probably be about 3 sections of it that's shaded. So that would be 3/9. Now we got to double check it just real quick. We'll check it against 1/3 and 3/9. Whenever we try to figure if something's equal, always cross multiply. 1 times 9 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So 1/3, and I wrote 6 there, isn't it? Fix that. That is 3/9. Question number 5. Write a number in each box to form equivalent fractions. So on the first one, I have 2/5 and I have 10 as a denominator. So to get from 5 to 10, I'd have to multiply that by 2. So if I do that to the bottom, I need to do the same thing to the top. So 2 times 2 is 4. So 4/10 and 2/5 are equal. Okay, on the next problem, I have 2/3 and I have 18 as a denominator. To make 3 into 18, I have to multiply it. I have to multiply it by 6. 3 times 6 is 18, so I need to do the same thing at the top, multiply it by 6. 2 times 6 is 12. So 2/3 and 12/18 are equivalent fractions. Okay, on 4/12, and I have 1 as a numerator. To make 4 to 1, to get from 4 to 1, I have to divide it because it got smaller. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. So I need to do the same thing to the bottom. Divide 12 by 4, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 4/12 and 1/3 are equivalent fractions. And the last one, 9/18. Okay, to go from 9 to 3, I'm going to have to make it smaller. That means I got to divide it. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So I need to do the same thing to the denominator, divided by 3. And 18 divided by 3 is 6. So 3/6 is equivalent to 9/18. Okay, use the equivalent fraction chart to answer questions 1 through 3. Question number 1. According to the equivalent fraction chart, which fraction is not equivalent to 2/3? So I've got 2/3 here, that's 1/3, and this is 2/3. I'm going to try to draw a line straight down from 2/3 and see which one of these fractions is not equivalent to 2/3. So the first one I have, let's look at 4/6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That does look like it's equivalent. So I'm going to eliminate that one. Look at ninths. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ninths. Does look equivalent. Eighths. Okay, eighths is the one that looks like it doesn't line up exactly. 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a little bit right there. So I think that may be my answer. Let's go ahead and look at the twelfths. 8 twelfths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 twelfths. So 8 twelfths is not equivalent either. So 5/8 is the one that is not equivalent. Question number 2. Marcus needs to name all the fractions shown on the chart that are equivalent to 1/2. Which list shows these fractions? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and look at the first answer choice. And we know that in order for a fraction to be equivalent to a half, the numerator has to be half the denominator has to be twice the numerator. So I can go ahead, 2/4 is equivalent, 3/6 is equivalent, 5/9 is not equivalent because 5 is not half of 9. And so we can eliminate answer choice F. And it looks like all the other fractions on here are equivalent to half. 2/4, 3/6, 4/8. Then we have 3/6, 6/12. Those are all the ones that are equivalent, but it doesn't list them all right here. This one right here, answer choice J, doesn't list all of them. 2/4, 3/6, 4/8, and 6/12. Eliminate those two. Answer choice J is the correct answer. Question number 3. Which row of the fractions in the fraction chart has no equivalent fractions shown? So answer choice A, third, B, fifth, C, sixth, or D, ninth. So we'll go ahead and look at the number chart here. So we're going to look for the third, fifth, sixth, or ninth row. Which one just has no equivalent fractions? So if I look at the third row, I look down there, and it looks like it automatically lines up with the sixth row right there. So it's not that one, it's not the sixth row. And if I took the third all the way down, it looks like those line up too. So it's not the ninth row. So it looks like it's going to be the fifth row right there, or my fifths is the ones that are not equivalent right there. So let's go ahead. So the row that doesn't have any equivalent fractions is the fifth row. All the other ones did actually, all the other ones had equivalent fractions to the third row, basically. Question number 4. Shelley has 4 different lengths of hair clips. She wants to wear a clip with a length equivalent to 14/16 inch. Which length clip should Shelley choose? Box our question in there. So, 14/16. Let's look down over our answer choices right here. And if I look at my answer choices, 14/16 is definitely greater than a half, so I can eliminate the half-inch hair clip. It's going to be quite a bit smaller. And probably the best thing to do is go ahead and just check and look. And I'm going to go ahead and think that if I multiply, I'm looking at 7/8 because those look very similar in size. So if I go ahead and multiply 7 times 2, that equals 14, and 8 times 2 equals 16. So I can look at that and see that 7/8 is equivalent to 14/16. So if she wants to wear one that's equal to 14/16, she would pick answer choice H. Also, if we wanted to double check, it might be a good idea to cross multiply these two fractions to 14/16 also, but I'm pretty sure the answer choice H is going to be the correct answer for us. Let's go into the next problem. Question number 5. Mrs. Ewart told her class that 1/3 of the students in the classroom scored 100 on the math test. There were 24 students in the class. Lisa knew that she could multiply both the numerator and the denominator of the fraction are the same number to find the fraction equivalent to 1/3. Which number should Lisa have? Which number should Lisa use to find the equivalent fraction? Box that in. Read it one more time. Which number should Lisa use to find the equivalent fraction? So we have 3, and so you're saying 1/3 of the students got 100. There's 24 students in class. To make 3 into 24, you have to multiply it. 3 times 8 is 24, so we do the same thing, times 8. So that means 8 students made 100 on the test. But we also use the 8. We multiply by 8 to get our answer. So 8's the correct answer. Question number 6. Jess baked cookies for his soccer team. He placed chocolate chips into 10/12 of the cookies. What fraction is equivalent to 10/12? So we should find the fraction that's equivalent to 10/12. And we're going to use a little different strategy on this. And I'm going to try a regrouping. I'm going to regroup the cookies. I'm going to put them into groups. And I'm going to go put these two in a group so they're equal size groups. Then I got the 2 cookies that are not, don't have chocolate chips in their own group. So how many groups do I have now? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups there. So there's 6 groups. And the ones with chocolate chips are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the groups. So 5/6. So 5/6 is my correct answer. And we can just double check by cross multiplying. By 5/6. So 6 times 10 is 60. And 12 times 5 is 60 also. So they are equivalent.